So you're thinking about making an offer on a home? That's exciting. But before you hit send on that contract, let's slow things down for just a second. Because smart buyers don't just walk through a house, fall in love, and toss in an offer without asking some key questions first. Especially in competitive markets like Northern Virginia, asking the right questions can save you thousands of dollars, help you avoid major regrets, and make your offer stronger and smarter. In this video, we'll walk through the must-ask questions, from understanding the seller's motivations to spotting red flags in disclosures, so you're not flying blind. And if you want help reviewing a property or putting together a competitive offer that protects your interests, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to make sure you buy smart, not just fast. So today, we're going over 5 questions that smart buyers always ask before submitting an offer. And I promise, these aren't just technical questions. They're the questions that show you're not just buying a house. You're making a strategic investment in your future. All right, let's start with the first one. What is the seller's situation, and what do they actually want? Most people think making an offer is just about the price, but real estate isn't always about the highest number. Timing, convenience, and certainty matter just as much. Are the sellers relocating quickly for a job? Do they need to rent back the home for 30 days after closing? Are they emotionally attached to the place and want to make sure it goes to someone who will care for it like they did? I had a buyer recently who won a bidding war, not by offering the most money, but by offering a flexible closing timeline and a personal letter that resonated with the sellers, who had raised their kids in that home for over 20 years. Understanding the seller's goals gives you a huge advantage in shaping a winning offer that works for both sides. Next question. What's the actual market value of this home, not just the list price? In some cases, the asking price is fair and aligned with market comps, but other times it's either intentionally low to spark a bidding war or it's way too high based on emotion or wishful thinking. So before you submit an offer, your agent should be running a comparative market analysis, or CMA. This looks at recent sales of similar homes in the neighborhood, same size, same condition, same features. If homes like it have been selling for 675K, but this one is listed at 725K, you need to know that before you offer anywhere near asking. And if it's listed at 649K, but the comps all point to 690K, then maybe it's time to come in strong and fast because others will notice too. Third question. Smart buyers ask, what will this home actually cost me each month? I'm not talking about just the mortgage here. I mean the real monthly number, mortgage, taxes, insurance, utilities, HOA fees, maintenance, all of it, because you might be pre-approved for a $750,000 home. But if the taxes are high and it's in a neighborhood with a 250-month HOA, that could push your monthly payment beyond what you're comfortable with. If it's an older home, factor in HVAC, roof, or appliance repairs that might be coming soon. I always recommend getting those rough monthly numbers from your lender before you fall too hard for a home. That way, your offer is based on reality, not just vibes. The fourth question to ask is, what's the home's condition and are there any red flags? Now, ideally, you're going to do a full home inspection after your offer is accepted. But if you're buying in a competitive market and you're thinking about waiving your inspection contingency, you absolutely need to be asking questions before submitting that offer. Look at the age of the roof, the HVAC, the water heater, the windows. Ask if there have been any prior water leaks, foundation issues, or structural repairs, and check disclosures. Has there been a history of termites? Are there active drainage problems in the backyard? I once had clients fall in love with a charming colonial in Annandale. It had everything they wanted, until the disclosure mentioned an underground oil tank that hadn't been decommissioned. That alone could have cost $10,000, $20,000 to remove safely. They walked away, and we found a better home 2 weeks later. The point is, don't skip this step. Know what you're buying. And finally, question 5. How strong is my offer really? And I don't mean just price again. I'm talking about contingencies, earnest money deposit, financing terms, and closing timeline. You want to ask, am I putting down enough to show the seller I'm serious? Have I submitted a pre-approval, not just pre-qualification, from a well-respected local lender? Can I make my closing timeline work with what the seller wants? Are my contingencies reasonable, or could they weaken my offer in a multiple offer situation? This is where having a great agent really makes a difference. They'll help you structure an offer that's not only competitive, but still protects your interests. And here's a bonus tip. Always review the HOA documents and resale certificate if the home is part of a homeowners association. You need to know what rules you're agreeing to, what fees you're paying, and whether there are upcoming assessments or restrictions that could affect your lifestyle. I've had buyers back out of deals simply because they learned the HOA didn't allow fences or even outdoor string lights, so don't skip the fine print. To wrap this up, submitting an offer on a home is a big deal. It's exciting, but it's also a moment where you need to slow down, ask the right questions, and protect yourself. The smartest buyers are the ones who come prepared, not just financially, but mentally and strategically. So if you're about to make an offer and want to talk it through or get a second opinion, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help guide you every step of the way. And hey, if you found this helpful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below with any other questions you think buyers should be asking. I'd love to keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.